Hey everyone, I'm Anthony Toma, your host of Keeping Up with the Chaldeans. Today I'm blessed with the presence of my good friend, Zack Jabro with Extreme Loans. What's going on, Zack?
Good morning, Anthony.
Nice of you to join us, brother.
Thank you. On a beautiful Saturday, right?
Yeah, no doubt. Why don't you just jump right in, talk about Extreme Loans, a little bit about how it got started, where it came from, whose idea it was, and then the whole culture of your whole company.
All right. Thank you again, Anthony, for having me today.
Of course.
I'm a big fan. I love what you're doing.
Thanks for the support always.
Of course, and keeping the community together. Definitely a big fan of yours, man.
Thank you.
So, I've been in the business 22 years. Mm-hmm. Most of my life, I've worked for big retail banks and, worked my way up, pretty much all the way up the highest possible on the ladder with the mortgage division with a retail bank. I was there for 9 years. And, what I learned in that 9 years is that with banks, there's a lot of bank politics.
Yeah.
And what I mean politics is you grow the company to something spectacular, then you realize the deposit size that cannot keep up with your lending side. Ooh. Because, there's that balance that has to be there, right? Mm-hmm. So I just outgrew that company. And then one day, 4 years ago, I woke up and I said, I'm going independent for the first time in my life after all these years, which is shocking to a lot of people because everybody thinks that I've owned my own company all these years because I treat it as if I owned it. Any job I've ever had, which is only 4 in a 22-year career, I've always treated it like it was my own.
And that speaks to your success.
Thank you.
Yep.
And then oftentimes people say, extreme loans, well, why is it extreme?
Yeah.
Funny thing is, it was available.
Yeah, right.
If you've owned
the URL was available.
The URL was available.
Okay.
If you've tried to open a business in the last 5 years, you'll realize nothing is available that matches your URL. Then Extreme Loans happened to be there, and I was like, all right, I'm an extreme kind of guy. That makes sense now.
Let's do this. This is an extreme step in my life. Let's
Absolutely.
go.
Absolutely. But everybody wants a backstory. What's Extreme Loans? But
yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm sorry, there isn't one.
Yeah, well, there is one, but it's just not as hype or as glamorous as it is. It's hard work, dedication, the right team, and then that's what's extreme about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. So let's be extreme while we're at it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So talk about what Extreme Loans does and what benefits it can have and what kind of team you're looking to build and all that stuff.
So one thing I say in the mortgage business, in order to be a part of our company, you see all these loan officers and people that are out there trying to get, especially in the purchase business. Mm-hmm. And what I always say...
Well, explain the purchase business before we move any further.
So the purchase business is a very unforgiving business. So if you don't have the experience, you can absolutely mess up somebody's experience and oftentimes money, right?
A customer's experience?
Customer's experience, right? And then what we deal with on a regular basis is, someone who's buying a home, they're like, oh, all mortgage guys are the same. My cousin is doing this, or I know someone who's doing that. And then
a lot of cousins in the business, right? 2 years ago.
Yeah, and then in the last few years, we've noticed, in the last week of the transaction, someone's calling me and they're crying, and I got my $20,000 EMD on the line, and I didn't realize somebody can mess this up.
Yeah.
But we're having to step up and really save the day. But in order to be with Extreme Loans, it must be a full-time job. There's no alternative for me.
Right.
And you must become an expert.
Yeah.
And you're never going to come into my industry and with Extreme Loans anyways.
Yeah.
And start out on the purchase side of the business.
Right.
We're going to teach you the business. We're going to make sure you're ready. And before we're going to introduce you to our amazing real estate agents that we work with.
And when you say you're going to be an expert, it's because you're going to take them from ground zero to the highest heights, right?
Absolutely.
Educating them.
Educating them,
Training.
teaching them, and I can honestly tell you, I'm one of the few companies that has the academy.
Yep.
So meaning I can take anyone experienced or not experienced and teach them in our academy. So there's a 30-day class before they can even hit the floor. So we're very excited about that. After many, many years, I decided to make that investment.
Okay.
And really teach people how to do mortgages.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I interrupted you while you were kind of breaking up going down up the ladder on an explanation.
Yeah. So again, I'm blessed to have all these people that's been with me double-digit years.
Yeah.
And in order, like I said, I am so involved in the real estate agent business, right?
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, I'm very proud to say, I'm involved in so many closed groups where no other lenders are allowed. I'm the only one that's in there, right?
What does that mean?
So, for example, I founded something called Chaldeans on Commission, right?
Okay.
And a lot of people came out and said, what the hell? Yeah, exactly, right? Absolutely.
Let's go.
And in a very short period of time, we grew that to a closed-knit group for over 100 very successful real estate agents.
Yeah.
So, and there's so many great things happening and so many opportunities being created for not only our agents, but our Chaldean buyers and sellers.
Oh, yeah.
So, you got a property that's, you're looking for a property, and you'll fire something in our chat and you'll say, hey, I'm looking for a property in West Bloomfield, must have a first floor bedroom. Anybody got anything coming up?
Network.
Straight up network.
Wow.
And then somebody starts firing, I got something coming up in the next 4 or 5 days, and
Genius.
it just creates opportunities.
That's genius.
So we're serving a community better, we're serving our realtors better, especially Chaldean realtors,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm also involved in a lot of other closed groups that are not Chaldean agents.
Yeah.
But I can honestly tell you, for example, last night I had an event for over 145 agents on, it was Extreme on the river, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So Extreme Loans went on the river yesterday, and we went on the Ovation yacht, and
Yeah.
we had an unbelievable turnout. And these are people who've supported us over the years, and they
Right.
know that we're experts in what we do. And realtors go as far as to say, when you get Extreme Loans pre-approval, it's as good as cash.
Yeah.
To me, that really means the world, because you see all these pre-approvals where somebody pre-approves somebody over the phone
Yeah.
without looking at anything,
Yeah.
or people that don't know how to look at depreciations on tax returns.
Yeah.
And like I said, there's real money on the line for these buyers.
Right.
They're putting an EMD down based on that piece of paper that's worthless.
Yeah.
In our case, when we issue that pre-approval, it really means something.
It's legit. And the selling agent knows when the pre-approval comes from Extreme Loans that there's a very good chance that it's legit, and they're going to get to close. So your offer from Extreme Loans is going to be looked at more seriously and taken maybe a higher priority than other lenders, right?
And I can say 100% that is the case.
Yeah.
And I'm not only saying that as a mortgage lender, I also buy about 30 to 40 properties a year. So
Okay.
oftentimes I'm a seller.
Yeah.
When I get an offer on one of my properties and I'm seeing a pre-approval, I'm really doing my due diligence on that lender.
Right.
So I'm asking my listing agent, whoever's listing my property,
Yep.
to really call and find out about that company and find out that pre-approval is really as good as it shows it is.
Right.
Well, I can tell you, when oftentimes real estate agents, when they see an Extreme Loans pre-approval, they will prioritize that offer
Of course.
over another offer, because they know.
Yeah, that was exactly my
Yeah,
point.
absolutely.
Of course they do.
Yeah.
Because when they're bringing it to the table, there's no surprises, right?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I'll give you another thing. For example, I'm sure you've heard of Mark Z, right?
Of course. Yeah.
I've known
Z
Mark.
guarantee.
Z Guarantee. He's got a, Z, I'm a Z, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I've known him for over 20 years, and he had his guy for, 12 years, right?
Yeah.
And, I never really got opportunities. But one day, I see him, and he was frustrated with some things.
Yeah.
And basically, gave me a look and gave me this 6 months interview, right? Let's try some things. Let's see how you guys get things done.
Yeah.
And honestly, I was never worried. Never. Oftentimes people say, let's really, really show them. I said to my team, let's just show them what we do every single
just
day.
do what we do.
Exactly. We
Yeah.
don't need to really win this job, because if they really see how we go to work,
Yeah.
they'll understand the difference.
Right.
And I was so lucky that he made me his preferred lender, and that was a huge win for us. He's got over 100 real estate agents.
Wow.
And then right after that, we became Mike Perna's preferred lender, which is currently the largest real estate team in the state of Michigan.
Mike Perna handles high-end homes.
A lot of people think that, but
Yeah.
really he's got over 100 agents again. So every
yeah.
agent specializes in something different.
Gotcha.
So, we became their lender. And then 2 years ago, we became Amin Realty's preferred lender. And that is the
What's it called?
Amin. They're a
Amin?
group of people originating from Bangladesh, right?
Bangladesh?
Yeah, Bangladesh.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And
Okay.
those are the 3 largest real estate teams in the state of Michigan, and I am their preferred lender.
Wow.
And then I just became the preferred lender for the largest real estate team in North Carolina. Now,
Okay.
people are saying, North Carolina?
Yeah.
I'm in Michigan. Well, these agents are really taking notice to what we're doing.
Right.
They're talking to these leaders in Michigan. They're saying, how is Extreme Loans different? And they're telling them, and they're giving us opportunities.
Yeah.
So, it's hard work is really paying off.
Yep.
Then when we do go through these experiences, we'll just hire a local person on the grounds in that state, and then we'll give them all the back support.
Yeah.
So we're really excited for the future, man.
So when the reason why that works, and I can speak to it because I've lived it, is that you once you develop a process that works and that has checks and balances, you can duplicate what you're doing on a local level just as well in another market. I had, modeling and acting franchises all across the country. I had 26 offices. I had 180 employees working for me, and it was like people were like, this guy's riding around his motorcycle all day. How the hell is he doing this? It's processes like that you implemented for your industry and your business that help you expand and grow, and that's a testament to your team and yourself.
Absolutely. And you can't do it all alone. Just like you said, somebody's sitting riding your motorcycle. But the fact is, you teach people and you train people, and people really get chances to move up, right? And you realize that, hey, they can get the job done. Sure. You just got to create the procedures and the policies.
I want to get back to you called it a university? What did you
Academy.
Call it? Academy. So your academy helps you identify the players and the jokers, but before they even touch anyone's loan, right?
Absolutely.
So that way, there's no extreme loan newbie that doesn't know their stuff before they get into the realm.
We're not going to let you hurt people, right?
Yeah.
Because that's really what's happening out there.
Yeah.
There's these really bad pre-approvals, and that actually hurts people.
Yeah.
So the academy really gets you ready for that mortgage life, right? Yeah. So we're, like I said, that's something that we're really excited about. And currently we have 11 people in the academy going through their courses.
Okay.
And it's a 30-day thing, and then once they're done, they're ready to work.
So how does somebody either new or seasoned in the industry, how do they get registered to work with you or get into the academy?
So typically we say get a hold of me or Extreme Loans. I have a team that's part of the recruiting and the onboarding and the marketing team. You'll get a hold of somebody there, right? And then
how?
So extremeloans.com.
Okay.
You go to the website, you click on careers,
Okay.
right? And then my team will get a hold of you, and then they'll set up an interview with either me or one of my amazing managers.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk, right?
Yeah.
I don't even call them interviews. It's like we really get to know each other in these things. And one of those things that I've always learned years ago, I don't need you just to be a good fit for me. I got to be a good fit for you. And that is the difference with Extreme Loans. We've never believed in quantity. We've always believed in quality.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of my competitors, a lot of them are great friends of mine.
Yeah.
And they'll have 80, 90, 100 loan officers, right? I don't. And honestly, I don't need to. I'd rather have less loan officers that are successful, making money, and they're not complaining about how to pay their bills, than having, 100 and only 30 of them are productive, and the other 70 are, bringing everybody down.
Right.
So that has been always been my model. If you're going to be with Extreme Loans and you bring in your A game, and it doesn't take much these days to bring in your A game, really. It's give me 40 hours a week, right?
Right.
Give me 40 hours a week, and I'll show you the way, right?
Right, for sure.
Absolutely.
So Extreme is EXTREMELOANS.com.
That is correct. Yep.
All right, cool. And so if you want a real career, go there, learn the business, learn it from the pro right there. So what else do you want to talk about? What about, let's just go back to the beginning. Like, how did all this start? I know you talked about, the big banks and all that stuff, but let's talk about, 10-year-old Zack. What was 10-year-old Zack doing?
This is, I was born back home.
Yeah.
Like I was born in the old country. I came to America in 1990 when I was 13 years old.
Yep.
And I started high school here.
Yeah.
And that was really challenging for me. And
that's tough.
Talk about bullying and talk about, learning the language and learning the ways. And so, I went through that. Honestly, it made me who I am today.
For sure.
And, I come from a family that education meant the world to them.
Okay.
So my dad is an engineer. My mom, who's a microbiologist back home, right?
Wow.
And she became a microbiologist here when we came here.
Is that how you got all that good hair?
It's got to be, right? My mom always gave me some good food, right?
She was like,
my oldest brother is a CPA, very successful CPA. My sister's a finance major. My other sister's a chemist major.
Jeez.
Yeah. So then it comes to me, and I'm the fourth child.
Yeah.
And, I'm going to college and play soccer in high school and all that good stuff.
Were you any good?
Oh, it was great, man.
Okay. Right.
But, one day I woke up and I said, Mom, Dad, after 3 years of college, I said, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm not doing this anymore. And obviously you could imagine in my house how that went like. the black sheep,
What
right?
happened?
Yeah, what did we do wrong? Yeah, absolutely.
Where did we go wrong?
So I had to deal with all that craziness.
And then they started blaming each other.
Yes, literally. Like, what did we do wrong, right?
Yeah, right.
So one day I'm sitting there and like, hey, now I got to prove them wrong, right?
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
And at the time, a lot of people probably don't know what a newspaper is.
Yeah, right.
I'm reading and I'm like, all right, I need a job.
Yeah.
I gotta figure this out.
Uh-huh.
And this is the year 2002, and I'm reading, and it says, how'd you like to make $100,000 a year? And that's a lot today, but back in those days,
Oh yeah, that was
a lot of money.
Boatload of money.
So I learned how to make a resume.
Yeah.
And I faxed it in.
Yeah.
And I'm like sitting there, I'm thinking, again, I'm so new to the corporate world, and
Yeah.
I'm thinking, that means somebody's gonna call you.
Yeah,
Well, sure enough, nobody's calling me.
yeah.
And I waited a week or two, and I started calling, and I knew the office was in Southfield. So every time I called, they're like, yeah, we'll get back to you. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go over there. I put on
Yeah.
a suit and tie, I walked in.
Good thing it wasn't a ski mask.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And sure enough, I couldn't get past the receptionist to get an
boy.
interview.
Okay.
To make the story go faster,
Yeah.
I did that 7 days straight. I put on a suit and tie, 7 straight days.
No shit.
Then finally, I kind of got loud with the receptionist.
Yeah, right.
And I said, I need a job and I need to talk to the manager.
Yeah.
And it kind of got loud, and the manager comes out. He's like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
I said, are you the manager?
Yeah.
And she said, yes.
Uh-huh.
And she basically took me back there because I think she had no choice.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
She took me back there and she said, what do you want? She started to interview me, and I'm blowing this one up. I have no idea how to interview.
Yeah.
And then she had a glass office, and I remember I've seen people walking around. I said, does any of these people make $100,000 a year?
Yeah.
And I just needed to hear one.
Yeah.
She said, some do.
Yeah.
I said, then I promise you I will.
Yeah.
And I think based on that, she finally gave me the job. And,
Awesome.
for the first 4 months, I bombed it. I
Yeah.
sucked.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, how do I tell my parents that I'm sucking? I was
Yeah.
borrowing money to put in my gas tank for
Oh,
my
geez.
friends.
That's
Just
great.
so my parents don't believe that I'm failing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, after 4 months, things changed for me. And
Yeah.
next year, I was the #1 loan officer.
Things didn't change for you. You changed them.
Absolutely,
right?
man. Hard work.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, those 4 months, whether good, bad, ugly, whatever, if you get lucky in those 4 months, if you close some stuff in those 4 months, you're lucky.
Yeah,
You got
exactly.
lucky.
Yeah.
You got to build up to a pipeline and make sure it's strong and you're strong, and you touch every single person you touch or speak to, you are building a relationship with and some trust.
And that is exactly what it is, man.
Yeah.
I don't get clients. I get friends,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's what it is. I tell my staff all the time, don't go out there and get clients.
Yeah.
Go out there and make friends.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if you treat clients like you treat friends,
Yeah.
you're going to have a great career, right?
Because they all have a cousin in the
Absolutely.
loan.
And cousins can't pay the bills, guys,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
right.
Yeah, no, you got to go out there and make new friends every single day. Right?
Yeah.
So that's what we do.
And going back to borrowing from friends to put money in the gas tank and all that stuff. That's what's so beautiful about our community. Like you didn't want to fail your parents, but you were never going to go hungry. Not in this community ever.
Very generous community.
Yeah.
I love saying I'm Chaldean. I'm
Yeah.
so proud of it. I own it. That's why when you created this beautiful thing,
Thank you.
I was so proud of you. And honestly, at the beginning, I didn't know, but it's unbelievable. The support and the love you get from your community.
It is. Our community is second to
Right.
none.
And then I tell everybody, sometimes people, especially in my industry, they'll look at competition as enemies.
Yeah, that's terrible. That's a terrible position to take, really.
The only competition you have is yourself,
Yeah.
right? So support people, do right by people. You never know how things work out.
Yeah.
I have somebody who's been with me 17 years. A lot of people know him in the community.
Yeah.
He worked for me for 9 years, and after that, he went on his own.
Okay.
Stayed friends with him, gave him all the support and love in that 2 years. And after 2 years, he
He's
said,
back.
he said, I did much better with you. Can I
Yeah.
come back? Had that not happened, he never comes back, right?
Yeah.
So to me, I always say, be kind, be professional. You never know how things work out. And even if they don't come back,
Yeah, I wish them well.
God bless you.
Yeah, God bless them for
Let
sure.
me know how I can help.
For sure.
Yep.
Yeah, you can only be a friend to someone that wants you to be their friend, right? So you
Absolutely.
can't force your friendship on somebody. And if they leave, and being with you that time before he left is why he felt you have the goodness in your heart to bring him back.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Treat people the right way.
Yeah.
And, things happen, man.
Yeah. And you got stayed cordial and friendly and
Yes.
supportive and hey,
Yes.
things sometimes people are better partners than the head honchos.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not an easy gig.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not
And
for
no one
everyone.
knows until they
Yeah.
until they actually venture out and do it on their own.
And I'll tell you, for me, that was only 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want to do all that stuff,
Yeah.
right? But it's at some point you're ready and you'll accept the challenge and you make things happen.
Yeah, I think we were at a 6-salon party, Christmas party downtown Detroit, when you told me, I was like, why aren't you coming on the show? Why aren't you coming on the show? You're like, I got something brewing, man, and it's big and it's consuming me, and I can't say anything right now. And
Right.
and then a few months later, we heard Extreme Loans, and I was like, that mother.
And I remember that day. At the
Yeah.
time, I had over 200 loan officers across the country reporting to me, so I couldn't really
Yeah,
come
no,
on
of course,
and
of
say
course.
this,
No,
right?
that was understood, and I could tell that you because you are such a proud Chaldean. I knew there was something brewing that you just couldn't share, or to come on the show. You're like, what am I going to go do? Promote this, and then 2 months later, I'm hey, by the
Absolutely.
way,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, and I was so loyal to my employer. And as a matter of fact, I'm still great friends with the CEO of the company I
Yeah.
left after all these years. It's just I've never left a job on bad terms, ever.
Right. No, you shouldn't.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's no reason to.
Yep.
So, is there anything else that we forgot to talk about?
Yeah, I think, if for those of you who haven't seen our building, it's the one with the super bright sign
go.
on Northwestern Highway
Yeah.
in Southfield on Northwestern between Inkster and Franklin.
What are some of the landmarks? Like there's the restaurant.
The Baco, which is
Baco.
great Italian food.
Yeah,
I'm
phenomenal.
I'm there 3-4 days a week for
Yeah.
lunch.
Don't you guys have your own rear entrance, like special entrance?
Yes, so Baco, obviously it was a great opportunity for us to be there.
Sure.
They created a private entrance with Extreme Loan sign on
Yeah.
it from the back. So they make it really easy for me to get back there
Yeah.
and eat
Yeah.
high calorie Italian food, right?
Right. Sign here.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's definitely a great place.
It is.
But we have this 23,000 square foot facility,
Yep.
and we moved in less than 2 years ago, and
Mm-hmm.
we just made it such a friendly place, right?
Yeah.
It's a place where people like being there. There's fun. There is family atmosphere.
Yep.
Professional atmosphere. I'll never be at one of those companies that people are walking around swearing and
Yeah.
doing, crazy things. Like for
Right.
me, I always tell my staff, don't ask me what the dress code is,
Mm-hmm.
but if your client walked in today and if you feel comfortable with what you're wearing, then that is the right dress code, right?
Right.
So
That's actually a great lesson for everyone out there listening. That's a great lesson to impose on your employees. So you give them the freedom,
Yes,
dress how you want to dress, and
Exactly.
let's see what happens.
absolutely. And then in my office, any given day, there'll be 30 to 40 real estate agents walking in through my building.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Yeah,
they
that's great.
They love our atmosphere. They love the energy, and they want to just come spend time with us.
How do they know to come in or stop in, say hello? How does a real estate agent out there that doesn't know the process, what do? They just say, hey, I want to check out the.
So oftentimes they're messaging me. If they don't have my number, they'll message me on Instagram or
Yeah.
somewhere, and they'll say, hey, can I pop in? I heard a lot of great things. And all the local realtors who know anything about myself or Extreme Loans,
Yeah.
they know there's some great stuff that happens in that building
Yep.
that we can help their business grow.
Lessons, education, and
Absolutely,
all that stuff.
yes.
Training.
Yeah, you met some of my team from True Vision and
Oh, yeah.
Michael, right? And
Yep.
sometimes real estate agents just don't know what to talk about, especially
Right.
when they're newer in the business. And we give them tools to be able to put their brand out there and to
Mm-hmm.
be able to talk to people about what's trending, what's important to people. We really keep an eye on what's out there, right?
Yeah.
And I have a unique mind for real estate. I'm not a real estate agent, but my true passion is real estate because I buy so much of it.
Right.
And so I really know how to wear a real estate agent hat, right?
Yeah.
And then and oftentimes they'll ask me to do videos with them, and I'm happy to do it.
Don't you have a real estate agent living with you?
I do.
Okay.
I do. She yells at me all the time. But I'm blessed, man. She's a brilliant woman. She has a marketing degree and a
Yeah.
journalism degree, and
Yeah.
she worked at Channel 4 News.
Okay.
And, we had a growing family, and unfortunately, she had to leave that job to raise our kids.
That's not unfortunate.
No, meaning like, you work so hard for that degree. And she
Yeah.
had such an amazing job at Channel 4 News. But, it is sad that you have to leave it, but it's for the kids, right?
Oh, yeah.
but she stayed active. She stayed with it, and then she realized my husband is this mortgage guy. It makes sense for me to get into real estate. And then she got into real estate, and she owned it, man.
Yeah.
Like she literally kills it. I don't know how
She's
does
on the
what she
EXP
does.
team?
She's on the EXP team. She does a lot of great stuff. She just brought in over 100 agents into EXP herself,
Wow.
a large team. And, she just loves what she does, man.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
We'll talk about your girls. They are employed by Cafe Suco in Birmingham,
Oh
Michigan.
man, this is crazy. So you open up Cafe Suco, right? And I really went in one day just to check it out, and that patio is unbelievable.
Oh,
man.
thank you.
It's the best patio in Birmingham,
Thanks.
right? So I come home and I tell my wife, and my kids were there, and like, "What's Cafe Suco, Dad?" I'm like, "It's my friend Anthony, whatever." Sure enough, they go there and they see you, and they're like fell in love with your place, and now they're there 3-4 days a week. Man, these credit card bills, Cafe Suco,
That's
Cafe
excellent.
Suco.
I love it.
Can I buy a membership?
Yeah, right? Yeah. Unlimited.
And my kids wear the Cafe Suco hat, and they love it, man. So yeah, they should be employees.
We
at
gave
this
them
point.
shirts. We gave them shirts and hats, and
Yes,
it's cool,
yes,
man.
they love it. And my 4-year-old, I'm a girl dad. I have all 3 girls,
Yep,
right?
yep.
So my 4-year-old always that. Can we go to Cafe Suco, Dad? Yeah, she loves it. She's a big fan.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what else?
Honestly, I'll tell you this. If there's one thing that I came here today to say to my community, there's a lot of ugliness out there. There's a lot of people talking about people, and there's no need for that.
No.
And I'll tell you, own being Chaldean, okay? And support each other and love each other, and regardless of your industry.
Yeah.
And again, I'm going to repeat it one more time. They're not your competition. You're your competition. And, help people. Help build people up. Don't go out there and talk bad about people. There's no need for that.
Right.
So that's my message to my people in my community, especially the people in my industry.
Absolutely.
And real estate agents, because I consider you,
Part of
colleagues.
extended family. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. So that is my message.
Gotcha.
Right? Let's get the ugliness out of all this.
Absolutely.
Right?
No, it's a beautiful message. So we end the show with a final question, and that is, and you kind of touched on it, and but what does it mean to you to be Chaldean?
Oh man, what I'm about to tell you, Anthony, this is the craziest thing.
Okay.
I was born in the old country, and I didn't know what Chaldean was until I came to America. And people are like, what? Back home, that's just not what we called it. We had no idea what that meant, right?
Really?
So being Chaldean
This
to me,
is blowing my mind right now.
I'm telling you, I really had no clue, right?
Were you in Baghdad?
Yeah, I was in Baghdad, but I still went and visited family members in Tulkepa, right?
Okay.
But it's just, I didn't know. I had no clue. And then I come in and I started at Groves High School.
But you know what Surai are?
I know what Sarai are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess Chaldean, right?
Yeah,
I guess
yeah.
that's the American word, maybe, right?
Okay, yeah.
So I go to Groves High School, and there was maybe 6 Chaldeans.
Yeah.
And somebody's like, walks up to me, and they see this kid that
What
barely
year
speaks
did you
English.
what year did you graduate Groves?
I graduated from West Mifflin High School because I
Okay,
moved
okay.
second year, right? But it was 1990 when I went to Groves. And somebody comes up to me like, are you Chaldean? I'm like, I thought they were making fun of me.
Yeah.
Because I was getting bullied for not knowing how to speak English, right?
Right.
And
So Groves is where you started high school?
yes, I started
Really?
Groves High School, yeah.
I went to Groves too. I
Oh,
graduated
no way.
from there, yeah.
Yeah. So, but it was so awesome, man. But
So they
Chaldeans-
walk up to you, they ask you, are you Chaldean?
and I'm like, I really thought it was a bad word. I had no idea what it meant, and I'm like, I was ready to, go at him, right?
I would just defend myself.
Yes. He's like, no, man. Are you from Iraq, right? I'm like,
yeah.
yes. And then I understood what Chaldean was, and
So from that day on, you had a community that not protected you, but you were a part of. So nobody was going to bully you from that day forward, right?
100%,
Yeah.
right? All 6 Chaldeans back in those days in Groves High School. But
Who did you have? Who were they?
I'll be honest with you, I don't even remember anymore. Right?
None of them?
I just don't remember any of them anymore. Like
Really?
it was that long ago, right?
Wow. I mean, I remember mine, and that was 1982 and 3 and 4.
Well, you got a great memory, man. I don't. But being Chaldean to me is seeing what Chaldeans have become and how it's evolved over the last few years.
Quick. It's been 3 generations.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that long,
Not
right?
that long, no.
Yeah, it's so unbelievable to
Yeah.
see all the success and to you young people, that's your parents, that's your grandparents. They laid the groundwork. Let's keep it going. you know,
Yeah.
let's keep it going. Let's keep evolving.
We are. They
Yeah,
are.
absolutely.
Yeah, it's
Absolutely.
beautiful.
I'm definitely proud of our community, man. I love it.
Oh, man.
Yep.
Thanks for joining us. This has been a pleasure. Learned few things about you. We did not mention your 2 World Series of Poker bracelets, but that's for another show.
Yeah, okay, great,
Yeah,
great.
all right. Thanks
and
for
thank you
joining
for
us.
having me,
Of
Anthony.
course.
I really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night, guys. Signing off. Go to extremeloans.com and get started.
Have a great day, guys.